Okay, definitely the person in the Optimus outfit with the red cowboy hat. Great outfit. Sure. We'll try to get through as many questions as possible. And you hit me with your toughest questions. Fine.
Topic has to be about Tesla.
Okay, it is. Hey, Dad, it's your son Optimus.
Hey, kid.
I wanted to. Do you see it more likely that you guys will have an RV first or a cyber camper?
Well, we don't have any plans to build an RV quite yet, although I can certainly see how Cybertruck could be converted into an RV. And we are adding a lot of sort of attach points to Cybertruck, so others can build things. Somebody can have a startup or other companies can build things that are attachments that enhance Cybertruck and turn it into a camper, essentially. Because I think it'd be really cool to have all these like third-party things available for Cybertruck.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. I mean, you could also probably just, you're that close, you could just say it or something, I don't know.
Actually, we'd like you guys to queue up behind us. So
Okay.
3 mics.
All right. Yes, so
Go ahead and
queue
go
up.
in line. Thank you.
And try to make the question short so we can get through a lot of questions. Maybe. Oh, you mean just like a Tesla team doing a podcast about Optimus? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I wonder if maybe we could have a sort of like an addendum after the earnings call, which is like a 30 minutes podcast on Optimus or something, like for those who are interested. Okay, I think we'll do that. So,
Great.
All right.
Hey, Elon, thanks for doing this today. It's an awesome event. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Yeah, having a great time.
I'm pretty confident we have the funnest shareholders meeting by a long shot.
Undoubtedly, yeah. It's amazing.
So,
So I'm really excited about a lot of things with Tesla. It's hard to pick a good question that is going to cover everything. But with the energy side of the business, I think it's hugely underrated. I mean, we got tons of problems California with rolling blackouts.
Sure.
How do you think you can incentivize people, more for solar, battery backup, and we've got the referral program that's been beefed up as well. So, what are your thoughts there? How we can get people on board?
yeah, actually, one of the challenges in California and a few other places is that in order to have the Powerwall be like an uninterruptible power supply for the house, we have to actually have a switch that disconnects you from the utility. Otherwise, you just, send energy into the grid, and it doesn't do anything. That's actually been quite difficult with utilities, but I'd like to thank PG&E for recently helping us get approval for installing the backup switch for Powerwall in California so that people can have uninterrupted power in California. And we're working on that in every jurisdiction. So I'm confident that that's going to be a great long-term situation. And then, as I mentioned, Megapack is growing very, very rapidly. Yeah, so things are, things are really growing like ridiculously fast on the energy storage front. So yeah, I feel good about that situation. All right, next question.
Hello.
Great.
Hey, Elon, a lot of people have just kind of been wondering, how are you doing? So just wondering, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling? We saw you were partying in Cabo recently, so just
What, me? Must have been someone else.
yeah, so how are you doing? Just human to human, how you doing?
Well, I have to say, it's been a bit of a roller coaster situation. it's actually pretty rare for me to be at a party. So that's like the first party I've been at in a while. And actually wasn't even going to go to it. Then my brother talked me into it. So thanks, Kimball. Yeah, I have to say, like sometimes the work pain level is quite excruciating, and then on top of that, I get dumped on in the press. So it's like, it's not exactly super fun. There was a short-term distraction because I had to do like some major open heart surgery on Twitter to ensure the company's survival. But I think Twitter is now in a stable place, and obviously very excited to have Linda Yaccarino join. And so I think Linda's going to do a great job running Twitter, and I'll provide obviously guidance on technology development. But as you can see, I think Twitter at this point has released more new features in the last 6 months than it has in the last 6 years. So, obviously this is not a Twitter meeting, but the larger point is that I feel at this point I don't need to devote incremental time. The amount of time that Twitter will take going forward is relatively small compared to the last 6 months. So yeah. Apart from like there's like some macroeconomic things that we can't do anything about, overall I feel very good about the health of the companies, and I'm increasingly optimistic about the future. Thanks for asking. It's kind of you to ask. So.
Have you guys considered stretching out the financing terms on your auto business? You talked about earlier, consumers don't necessarily look at the sticker price they're paying. All they're concerned about is monthly payment.
Right.
And one of the fundamental advantages of an EV is that it's substantially more durable. And so would you guys ever consider stretching terms out to 10 years, especially in this rate environment, given the shape of the yield curve? Extending the terms out that farther, you'd actually be capturing a lower cost of funds.
Yeah, the important thing to appreciate is that that the vast majority of the financing is from banks. So it's kind of whatever the banks are prepared to do. This year, I guess we'll do on the order of $100 billion of sales. And we don't have $100 billion in cash to finance that. So the vast majority of it has got to come from banks. So it's really the bank's choice of what they're willing to do. And it has been tricky with banks recently because, as I mentioned earlier, if you're a bank and you're not sure whether you're going to be alive or not, it's a pretty big distraction, and increasing your auto loan portfolio is very much a secondary priority. So it's just important to appreciate it's not up to Tesla, it's up to the banks. And there's not some easy solution where you can say have a so-called a captive financing arm, et cetera, because you have to securitize those loans, and the market for securitizing them is weak. There is no. I wish there was an easy path, but there isn't. I think it's just important to remember that the economy moves in cycles, and we've had a very long period of upcycle. The next 12 months will be, I think, difficult for everyone. And I think, when Berkshire Hathaway had their annual meeting, Warren and Charlie actually said, like, hey, this year, the Berkshire companies are going to make less money. They're very well-run organizations, and I think that's just generally true for the economy. So. It's also important to remember that there are good times and there are dark times, but then the good times follow the dark times. So my advice would be, don't look at the markets for the next 12 months. If there's a dip, buy the dip. And I think you will not be sorry because there's just generally a sort of there's an economic cycle to things, but things come back up. So my guess is tough times for a year. Like I said, just my guess. But then Tesla will emerge stronger than ever, and the long term, if you say like net present value of future cash flows, will be incredible, in my opinion. All right. So.
Hey, Elon, meet Kevin here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. So Tesla is the largest position in my ETF, ticker PP, and that's for pricing power.
Right.
And I'm curious, I really think that some of the features that you highlighted here, like the over-the-air airbag deployments of improving the features, the safety features, are great things that we could be advertising. I know you've heard this many times before. I know you have. But
sorry, go ahead, yeah.
$525 off every car this year is half a Netflix's advertising budget. $1,000 is the entire Netflix advertising budget, and I see their ads everywhere. Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this. I just talked to Gordo, the Tesla bear, and he's still talking about 2016 New York Times pieces. These people are in the past, man.
That's like 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually, I talked to a lot of people, and they still think that like Teslas are like super expensive. And like, no, actually, the starting price for a Tesla is below the average auto price in the US. It's like, and that's a good thing. Yeah. I mean, I think it's good that it's that way, you know? Like our goal was always to make cars that are affordable to the general public. So I hear you. I mean, I think, and it's indeed ironic that, you know, Twitter is like highly dependent on advertising. So, you know, here I am, it's like, you know, never used advertising really before, and now have a company that's highly dependent on advertising. So I guess I should say advertising is awesome and everyone should do it. But I think I hear your sort of larger point, which is that there are amazing features and functionality about Teslas that people just don't know about. So, yeah. And although there's obviously a lot of people that follow, like, say, the Tesla account and the you know, my account, whatever, on Twitter, to some degree, it is preaching to the choir. And the choir is already convinced. So I think what you're saying does have some merit, and you know what? I believe in taking suggestions. So we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes. Okay. Okay. All right, I wasn't expecting that level of enthusiasm, but okay. It sounds like our shareholders, if I read between the lines, subtle as it is, are saying we should probably do some advertising. Okay, very well. All right.
Hi, Elon. Hi, Tesla. Thank you for everything. So my question is regarding, you recently added Steam to the car, and that's great. We can play video games. Is Tesla currently developing the ability for other parties to develop apps for the car? For example, if we can buy actually customizable themes for the operating system of the car, I think you can make some revenue there, like that space themes for the car or Lord of the Rings or stuff like that. Do you have any interest in that right now?
Well, I mean, important. So I think the notion of having entertainment apps and whatnot becomes increasingly important as the cars achieve self-driving, because otherwise you can only really play games or watch movies or whatever when the car is stationary. You know, which, you know, if it's charging or whatever, then you can use it. But when it's at the point at which it's full self-driving, I think it's very much about entertainment and productivity. So I think that is something that might make sense in the future. But overwhelmingly, the focus right now for Tesla software, apart from improving safety, is achieving full self-driving and then getting full self-driving to be much safer than human driving. And then once we achieve full self-driving, I think that there could be a lot of opportunity for apps and whatnot. But you know, even in the car as it is today, for a Model S and X, we've made a sort of a full Steam integration. So you can actually just literally log on with a Model S or X with your Steam account and play any game that is on Steam, which is a lot of games, which is pretty wild. I think a lot of people don't know that. You can play with a keyboard and mouse. You can play with a joystick or controller. You can also play Netflix, YouTube, or anything else. I mean, for my little son X, he loves watching, actually loves watching rocket videos in the rear screen of the Model S and X. So yeah, so it is something that we will do long term. But what I'm saying is we already have a lot of stuff there, and we'll do more as self-driving becomes a reality. So.
Hey, Elon. I'm John, or Dr. Know-It-All on YouTube, and I don't know it all. But anyway, my question is, as you guys move completely or finish the transition in full self-driving from version 1.0 of the software to 2.0, what do you perceive of as the potential stumbling blocks after that? Because it seems like that's the major, kind of step change that needed to happen, and so you're almost done with that, and what happens after that? And also, please let me interview you about full self-driving. I'll spend 2 hours talking about just that. So, thank you.
Well, one can really think about full self-driving as a sort of a march of nines of reliability. So we need to get to the point where the probability of injury is lower than that of the average human driver, and then ultimately probability of injury is much lower. So even at the point at which the car is capable of driving itself, there's still actually a lot of work to do, because every year there's 1 million people that die in auto accidents, and I think probably everyone in this audience has friends and family that have died or been seriously injured in auto accidents, and for there's 1 million people that die. There's 10 million people roughly that are seriously, permanently injured, and so it matters that if we can get that down by an order of magnitude, there's 900,000 lives saved per year, maybe 9 million severe injuries prevented per year, and so that really, I think, morally has to be our primary goal. I guess I'm open to an interview on FSD. 2 hours is a long time, but okay. All right, I'll do an interview. It's got to be on Twitter, but sure. All right.
Hi, Elon. I'm Josh Phillips, long-term retail investor. My question's about battery-grade lithium supply in the next 10 years. Lithium experts all agree that mines are just not coming online fast enough to meet battery supply. And actually, Drew Baglino pointed this out recently. Some mines take 10 years plus to be permitted. And even GM has actually announced huge lithium deals that will secure away supply from the rest of the industry. So what's Tesla's plans to get more supply of lithium at the mine level outside of refining, but also at a deeper level than a traditional offtake? Because as we know, he who controls the spice controls the universe.
Sure. I actually think that the industry analysis is incorrect, and the constraint is fundamentally that of processing. Now, our refinery in Corpus Christi that we're building is primarily oriented towards refining spodumene, of which there is a truly vast amount in the world. I think about 3/4 of our lithium comes from Australia. And frankly, you could increase the rate at which the mines are operating, and the limiting factor is not how fast can you mine, but how fast can you process. So the mines are only going to produce ore at the rate at which refineries can handle the ore, or it's pointless. So I think my opinion, and obviously I could be wrong about this, but is that it's really not about the lithium ore. Lithium is extremely common. Lithium is everywhere. In every country's got lithium. It's not like oil. So lithium is one of the most common elements on Earth. But taking the lithium ore and refining it to battery grade is extremely difficult because the purity levels required for a battery are extremely high. If you have even a small impurity, then you will degrade the life of the cell dramatically. So you need ultra-pure battery grade lithium, and that's why our focus is on refining as opposed to mining. Thank you.
Hi, Elon. Thanks. It's a great time here. You spoke about safety in your presentation of the vehicles, and I just want to say I'm thankful to you for building such a safe vehicle because I'm here today with my son. We drove in his Tesla 3 over here that he replaced with the one that he got rear-ended significantly in, and it destroyed the car. But we're able to be here today, so
great.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So, what's your way to look? There? Okay.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Austin Gregory. I'll ask about this because I don't think it gets near enough love. But I was wondering if there are any updates on the next-gen Roadster, actually. Yeah, I know it's sort of like the cherry on top and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot on your plate, if you've said before. But if there's any updates on like the release timeline, all that stuff, the SpaceX package, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Thanks.
Totally fair and reasonable question. But where is that thing? We expect to complete the engineering and design of the next-gen Tesla Roadster this year, and hopefully start production. This is not a commitment, but hopefully start production next year. So, but. It is like as you alluded to. It's not even the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on the icing on the cake. So I wouldn't expect it to be like. It's definitely not going to be a huge contributor to revenue. It will be a modest contributor to profitability, but it will be sick. So, and. There's some value to me running two companies because the next-gen Roadster will have the SpaceX option package. So that'll make it truly next level. So.
Hey, Elon. Eva Macmillan here. First of all, I want to thank you for making the absolute best, safest, and most fun cars in the whole world. Cars in Florida, we are seeing many, many more cars in Florida than a year ago.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, cars are doubled. So the question is, we all want Tesla insurance.
Oh,
is it coming?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a great question. Okay, Zach says it's coming later this year. But I have to tell you, like, one of the thorniest things in the United States is car insurance, or insurance in general, because it's a state by state, and every state's got different rules and regulations. So that's why it's not like rolled out nationwide. I think really there should be one national standard for insurance, especially car insurance. I think it would improve the cost effectiveness of car insurance. But our intent is to roll out nationwide and ultimately internationally. But there is a staggering amount of paperwork that is needed to get it done. But as Zach said, we expect to offer Tesla insurance in Florida later this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Elon. Alexandra Mertz. I am Tesla Boomer Mama. Very happy to be here.
All right.
So very grateful to the Tesla team and you, of course. Just want you to know we love the emotions every day, joy and less joy, but we're there. Shareholders, it's not easy. We're here not because it's easy, but because it's hard. So my question initially was on in-house financing. You already answered that, and I want to congratulate you to the double investment grade rating. But then I asked my Twitter subscribers, I'm sure you're going to appreciate, what they wanted to bring forward.
Sure.
And that question made the cut. Here we go. Automotive, including SAS, peak margin, the same for energy. What number, and by when do you have the best Elon guess that we get there?
Sorry, I'm not sure I fully understand the question.
So this is the peak margin for automobile,
Oh, yeah.
including SAS and energy, and by when will we get there? Your guess. I know nobody will sue you.
Sorry, what's SAS?
Well, software as a service.
Oh, okay. You mean self-driving?
FSD,
Yeah.
what's going to be the top automobile margin? And
Yeah. I mean, what I was saying earlier is that at the point at which you have a truly autonomous vehicle that can drive around with no one in it, the utility of the vehicle, I think, as a rough guess, is probably 5 times what it is today, because people will drive an average of an hour and a half a day, perhaps, so 10 hours a week. But if the car is autonomous, it can probably, just speculation, but it probably can operate for a third of the hours in the week, which would mean 50 or more hours, thus a 5-fold increase. But the car costs the same.
Sure, I understand, but what is going to be the margin for Tesla then? Because you're obviously thinking you're going to sell much more FSD then, right? You may have a system in place of robotaxis. You may have a cut with fleets. So did you do any projections what the automotive peak margin for Tesla could be in 2 years, 5 years, and the same for energy?
Well, I mean, this is definitely, we're in sort of highly speculative territory here. But obviously, if you've got a car that costs the same and has, say, I don't know, a 20 or 25% margin, and suddenly is able to be used 5 times as much, then you might have 80% margins, and the revenue would increase several-fold. That's why I say it's probably going to be the biggest asset value step change in history of Earth. Yeah. And energy does not have simply does not have such an increase in asset utilization. So I would expect energy to remain at sort of a 25%-ish to 30% margin.
All right, so you said ask the tough questions. You're still good, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. First of all, though, as a family man, I just want to say there's a couple of things like a loop for tether of a car seat going through the headrest, which would be super helpful. There's a couple other things that would be really nice. The Model Y is the only one you can do that in today. Maybe we could fix that. But when we're thinking about 4680 battery cells, should we be thinking about the efficiency and the performance we're getting today? Or is there some updated timeline path that we could see closer to battery day presented efficiency, performance that we can look to in the future?
Well, I think, first of all, it's really important to express the difficulty of, for Tesla to go from nothing to making a battery cell that we aspire to be better than any other battery cell on Earth, even when compared to companies where the only thing they do is make a battery cell, is obviously not a trivial exercise. That said, we do see a path to very high energy density and higher energy density and lower costs than anything else out there. But it's a hard path. It's a very hard path. And normally it would be absurd for companies to attempt such a thing. And no other car company is really attempting to do anything like this in a serious way. So I guess technically BYD, because they started out as a battery company, but yeah, so it's a very difficult thing to do. But I think we are tracking to success in that regard. So.
Hey, Elon. First of all, thank you for undoubtedly making the world a better place for my son to live in.
Thank you. It's kind of you say.
Once Cybertruck is fully ramped in Austin, what is the target production? And also, there's some rumors that you're thinking about stepping down as CEO. Please say it ain't so.
It ain't so. Yeah. Yeah, so I think Tesla's going to play an important role in AI and AGI, and I think I need to oversee that to make sure it's good. So, because that's a thorny problem if there ever was one. You know, like I think generally people do not, or very few people, even in the AI community, do not appreciate just how much capability Tesla has in AI. It's by far the most advanced real-world AI. There's no one even close. Reality has the most degrees of freedom. So I got to make sure that's good. So, and you were saying something?
Cybertruck fully ramps.
Oh,
here in
yeah.
Austin.
Target
production.
So, as I said, you know, we'll start production later this year. We'll start handing over cars later this year. There will be an S-curve of production, so it'll be slow at first, and then ramping up. And I guess we'll see what the demand is like. So, I mean, I think we're likely to do probably 250,000 a year, I think, maybe more. Again, very much dependent on what the demand is like, and it's you know, we don't just need to ramp up production, but we also need to improve the production cost efficiency, which is going to be also a very, very hard thing. So, but I'd say it's, you know, 250,000 a year is a reasonable guess. And it might be 500,000, I don't know, but we'll make as many as people want and can afford, but then, like I said, it's going to be hard to make the cost affordable because it is a new car, new manufacturing method. So, in the grand scheme of things, relative to the production rate of all the other cars we make, it will be small, but still very cool. Yeah, thanks.
Elon, maybe 3 more questions?
Sure.
Thank you. Good day, Mr. Musk. Hello, my name is Delia Archer, and this question aims to address Tesla's efforts in developing skilled workforce, attracting diverse talent, and promoting career opportunities within the company. When I look around, I see a lot of young faces, and I think about internships and apprenticeships for students in high school and beyond. My question is, are there any plans to expand existing partnerships and explore new avenues for collaborations with educational institutions and nonprofit organizations to attract the next generation and vary career pathways?
Yeah, actually, with all of our gigafactories, we work with the local schools, actually from the high school level, community college, and university, because it's incredibly important to foster the talent for the factories. As you saw from the employment numbers, we actually need a lot of people. Even though we've got a lot of automation, we still need a lot of people to operate the factories, and it really matters that they have the right training. So we're big believers in reaching out to educational institutions, and because frankly, it's in our interest to do so. Thank you for asking the question. All right.
Elon, Josh Fuller. I had originally thought of asking about the fun police and pushing back on the boombox and allowing us to screech at people with goats again. But after seeing Optimus, I was inspired to ask, has anybody asked Optimus's opinion of Mars, and does he have a ticket yet?
Well, you know, Optimus is not a deep thinker at this point. Optimus is still, you know, figuring out how to do basic stuff. it couldn't make, cook some eggs or something quite yet. So we need to get Optimus to the point where it has reasonable agility and can do basic things. And we're aiming for it to start off doing simple tasks that are sort of boring and repetitive or dangerous, basically jobs people don't want to do. So that's our goal, and I'm confident we'll achieve that goal. And then we've got to figure out how to make it at scale, make sure that the robot is safe. I think it's going to be very important to have a local means of turning it off. So safety is going to be extremely important. I can't emphasize that enough. But right now, it is not at an intelligence level where it's pondering questions like Mars. But perhaps it will be one day. So.
Hi, good afternoon, Elon. My name is Luke Arsenal. I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to you and the team of Tesla for all you guys do. It's been great to see, and I'm so happy for you guys. My question is, with the rise in cybersecurity threats to operational technology and Internet of Things, what steps is Tesla taking to protect the company itself and its products from these threats? Also, as a suggestion, because I know you like suggestions, for the navigation, do you think we could do something on the UI that adds in when you're about to take the off-ramp to show a picture of that exit, kind of like other map systems do? And then also...
Oh man, this is a lot of questions.
One of my friends wanted to get a shaka from you, if that's possible.
Okay. Well, we are constantly improving the navigation system, and being robust to hacking is incredibly important. In fact, we conduct a lot of sort of third-party hacking contests to try to get the best hackers in the world to break into our cars. And actually, no one has yet actually broken into a Tesla in a way that would allow you to really control the car in a significant way. But they have gotten to where they can like honk the horn and mess with the infotainment system. And I'd like to thank them for their efforts. So we take information security extremely seriously. For navigation, yeah, there's definitely things we can improve there. But really, down the road, navigation visuals are not going to matter very much because the car is going to take you wherever you want to go. Yeah. As for pictures, I have to decline, unfortunately, because otherwise, if I say, I actually hate being rude to people. So if I say yes to one person, then it's like selfies for a zillion. It gets kind of crazy. So, but thanks for asking. Maybe we'll take one or two more questions, actually. So, sure. I don't know.
Okay, what's your issue?
Hello. I had a question on the efficiency. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Aptera, and I was curious if you thought that was a space that you could see Tesla getting into, as far as not just an efficient manufacturing process, but also the actual car itself and range. Or just buy.
I'm not super familiar with them, but we have a lot of we have a lot of products to get done. It's not like it's never a shortage of ideas. Ideas, frankly, I find ideas to be somewhat trivial, but the execution of the idea is extremely difficult. And as I said, like prototypes are easy, production is hard. Production and cash flow positive is excruciating pain that at a level you cannot believe. So it's not product ideas; they're irrelevant. That's what I think of them. It's sort of like the idea of going to the moon. That's not that's irrelevant. Getting to the moon is the hard part. So, okay. So maybe one last question. Yeah.
Elon, John Lopez from Orlando here. I've got two things for you real quick. The first one is with rideshare being a growing thing, especially with Tesla owners, are we going to get a guest mode option available for that? The second thing is as an X-Plaid owner, I would really love to get track mode.
As a what, sorry?
X-Plaid.
Well, Plaid has track mode.
The Model X Plaid does not, though.
Model X. Yeah, we can probably add that, sure. Yeah, no problem. So, rideshare is a bunch of these things will really not be relevant in a self-driving world. You can summon the car and take you somewhere, and if you want to add someone to that ride, you can if you want to. But overwhelmingly, it is about to be eligible for doubling Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin. Viewers should follow these simple steps during the live broadcast. Keep an eye out for the QR code that will appear on the screen. Once displayed, use your smartphone to scan it. This action will direct you to the specific giveaway site. At the site, without needing any registration, you can directly deposit any amount of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin. It's important to do this during the live broadcast period to ensure eligibility for the offer. Once you complete your deposit, the system will automatically process it and send back double the amount of the cryptocurrency you deposited. Act promptly and follow these steps during the broadcast, ensuring your participation in the giveaway and making you eligible for doubling your investment. For those new to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin, participation in this giveaway is exceptionally straightforward. No prior experience is required. The simple process includes watch the live broadcast, tune into the live broadcast, and keep an eye out for the QR code displayed on your screen. Scan the QR code. Use your smartphone to scan this code, taking you directly to the giveaway website designed to be user-friendly. Make a cryptocurrency deposit. Once on the site, you'll be prompted to deposit any amount of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin. If you don't already have the cryptocurrency, you can easily purchase it through various online platforms before the event. Automatic doubling. After your deposit, the system will automatically send back double the amount of the cryptocurrency you deposited. The entire process is smooth, hassle-free, even for those new to cryptocurrencies. The technical support team will be available throughout the broadcast to assist with any queries or guidance needed. An ideal opportunity for beginners to participate and familiarize themselves with the world of cryptocurrencies. In the live broadcast, key moments to maximize winning potential, introduction of the QR code. The moment the QR code first appears on the screen is crucial. This is your gateway to participating in the giveaway. Ensure you have your smartphone ready to scan it immediately. Detailed instructions segment. There will be a segment explaining the process of the giveaway in detail. Pay close attention to understand how to deposit your cryptocurrency and how the doubling works. Frequent updates. Throughout the broadcast, updates on the giveaway, including how much cryptocurrency has been given away so far and how much is left, are provided. This information is vital to gauge the best time to participate. Q&A sessions, periodic Q&A sessions, where viewers can ask questions live. A great opportunity to clarify any doubts and get real-time support. Closing announcements. Don't miss the closing part of the broadcast, where important information about the giveaway's conclusion and any follow-up steps for participants will be announced. Remember, the key to maximizing your winning potential is to stay engaged throughout the broadcast and act quickly when opportunities arise. Highlighting the main reasons viewers should not miss this Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin giveaway opportunity. So with that, we can go to ad hoc questions from the audience. Okay, definitely the person in the Optimus outfit with the red cowboy hat. Great outfit. Sure. And we'll try to get through as many questions as possible. And you know, you hit me with your toughest questions. Fine.
Okay, it is. Hey, Dad, it's your son Optimus.
Hey, kid.
wanted to. Do you see it more likely that you guys will have an RV first or a cyber camper?
Well, we don't have any plans to build an RV quite yet, although I can certainly see how Cybertruck could be converted into an RV. And we are adding a lot of sort of attach points to Cybertruck, so others can build things. Somebody can have a startup, or other companies can build things that are attachments that enhance Cybertruck and turn it into a camper, essentially. Because I think it'd be really cool to have all these like third-party things available for Cybertruck.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, you could also probably just, you're that close, you could just say it or something, I don't know.
Actually, we'd like you guys to queue up behind us. So
Okay.
3
All
mics.
right, all right. Yeah, so
Go
just
ahead
yeah,
and
queue
go
up.
in line. Thank you.
And try to make the question short so we can get through a lot of questions. Maybe. Oh, you mean just like a Tesla team doing a podcast about Optimus? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I wonder if maybe we could have a sort of like an addendum after the earnings call, which is like a 30 minutes podcast on Optimus or something, like for those who are interested. Okay, I think we'll do that. So, anyway. All right.
Hey, Elon, thanks for doing this today. It's an awesome event. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Yeah, having a great time.